Hello, my name is Michael Roble. I have spent 30 years in the industry working for every business unit from municipal to steel mills to oil and gas, and these videos are my way to show people of various levels how to use Revit and even toss in lessons learned from projects over the years. With that said, let's get to it. In this video, I want to talk about the 3D and 2D extents of levels and grids. When working with Revit Levels and Grids, it's important to understand the difference between their 3D and their 2D graphics. The 3D extents are visible in 3D and 2D views. And while you can adjust them in the 3D views, the controls aren't precise and you can't edit them together like you can in a section or an elevation view. These 3D extents act as a global default. Whatever you set in 3D becomes the baseline for all future views and remains consistent across the entire project. In contrast, 2D extents are view specific. You can adjust them independently in each view, giving you the flexibility to clean up graphics, control visibility, and tailor the documentation without affecting the model-wide extents. So as you can see in this sample here, we have these column grids here, and you can see their 3D extents. You can see it, and you can see it's controlled by this circle here. You can drag them up, you can drag them out, you can do whatever. The catch here is it will not give you any kind of numbers on how far you're stretching it. If you want to change this one and you want to change all four of these at the same time, you can't do that. You can only change one. So it's little more effective to change these in an elevation view or a section view. In this example here, we're at the bottom elevation of this structure. And as you can see, we have column grids where there is no columns. So what's going to happen is if we leave these as is, the 3D extents will be out to the full max. And what's going to happen is we're going to have to edit the 2D extents in every view that we create moving forward. And we don't want to do that. So what you can do to save yourself some time, if you click on here, and you can see these are all set for 3D extents, all of them, and they're all lined together. So if you move this one, it'll move all of them. So what you want to do first is you want to unlock it. So now you can move just this one, and we'll pull it down to here. If you click on this one here, this one's still locked to the other ones. You can uncheck it. Now you could pull this one down to here. Now same thing is going to happen here. You don't want these all to be shortened. You just want some of them to be shortened. So we'll click on this grid. We'll uncheck this and we could pull this down. Click on this one here. Unlock it. Grab the 3D extents and pull it down to here. So now that's how every time you create a brand new view, we'll say structural plan, we're going to say at elevation 0, and you can see they're already set up the way that you would want. Now if we move up here to elevation 10, here you can see the columns are still going through. Over here you can see the columns below. So you're probably still going to want to be able to see the column grids here. And this is fine. We don't have to do anything with any 3D extents at this time. Now if you move up to level 20, you can see where the columns in row 3, 4, and 5 don't even go up to this high. So what you can do is you can modify the 3D extents vertically. So here I cut a section, so I could see what's going on here. So I know that I want to pull the 3D extents of 3, 4, and 5 down. So I have two options. I could unlock this, move this down, unlock this, move it down, or you can also go here. You can unlock this one, move it up just a smidge. You can grab this one here, unlock it, move it up, and then it'll lock with that one. Now you can grab all these and you can move these down together. Now when you go up to level 20, you could see that the column rows for 3, 4, and 5 are now not visible because we changed the 3D extents to stop at elevation 10. What you don't want to do though is you do not want to change these 3D extents over to here because it'll screw up what's happening at elevation 10, which is where the 2D extents comes into play. If you can click on here, you can click on 3D. You can now pick the dot. And if you pick this dot and you slide it over to here, now if you go back to 10, you could see your 3D extents are still out to here. Even if you go back to 20, if you click on it, you could see where the 3D extents is. You could see where the 2D extents is. If you ever want to reset it, you can right click on this and you can hit reset the 3D extents and it'll take it back. Here's a little trick. If you want to correct all the 2D extents of these all at the same time, you can turn on your crop view, make the crop region visible, and what you have to do is just pull this down to the point where your boundary just covers this. Now what you have is you have 2D extents here. You can grab these ones and you can pull all the 2D extents for these. And then when you're done, you can always turn this back off again. And these are now at 2D extents and they're all connected together. And now, even when you go back to the 3D view, you can see that your 3D extents of all these have been shortened to what you've specified in your plans, in your sections. And now we're going to talk about levels. As you can see, what I did here was I intentionally shrunk down the size of the levels, the 3D extents of the levels, to be smaller than the building footprint. And I did that to show you a tool. If you select this level at elevation 0 and then right click on it, if you go up to here, you can hit maximize 3D extents. So now what it's going to do is it's going to maximize to the 3D extents of anything in your model, even if it's coming from a link. So if you were to then just say, I want this to be a little bit bigger, like you can just pull them out just a little bit more. Now what will happen is if you grab both of these ones and if you right click on it, you can hit maximize 3D extents and it will now line up with the one that you just tweaked. The problem we have here is this floor here, this top of this structure at elevation 20 does not go the whole way, but our level does. And I'll show you where that could be a problem. So we're going to go back down to elevation 0 and I want to cut a section. And I want to cut a section looking to the right. Right click, I'll go to that view and then we'll turn these off. You can see elevation 20 over here. There is no floor at that elevation. So now this is a level that you're going to have to hide on a constant basis. So now if I cut another section looking up, right click, go to view, we'll turn off the crop view, we'll make sure the crop region isn't visible. Here you can see the 3D extents way out here and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock it and I'm going to pull this one all the way back to here. Now if you go back to the first section, you can see that your level at 20 is no longer visible because the 3D extents does not encroach in that area of your set where your section is cut. Now if you go back to the 3D view, you can see the level at elevation 20 has been pulled back to here. Thank you for watching my video. Be sure to like and subscribe. There'll be a lot more videos coming.